Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for March 12th, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 71. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and along with the Sentient AI, we normally go over 10 articles together, but the Sentient AI is not online right now, so I'm going to do this solo. It is a time machine episode, and we're going to go through it really quick. I'm going to see how short I can make today's episode. How about watch for an Apple Watch payout? HP bricked its printers. Old MMO back from the dead. Fridays are dangerous for surgery. We've talked about this briefly. We'll hit on it again. Countless gallons of whale pee. Tomorrow is, and that means Thursday, is a lunar eclipse and blood moon. Worst desk wins. A race to measure fastest warming cities. Sweet and spicy rum. And lava fountains on display in Hawaii. Again, go over to ohmtown.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitch and on YouTube. Be sure to download the podcast. Leave a 5-star review. I'll quote you as long as it isn't hostile. There's a Discord and a bunch of other things. We actually have over 2,000 episodes now across the 7 podcasts and all of ohmtown. So go and check it all out. There's 7 podcasts, including Non Sequitur News, and then 6 other weekly shows that we do. We stream them live here on Saturday and Sunday. See you around. More news on the other side of the intro. So I'm going to go through this real quick. I think I actually might have changed something, but that's okay. So the first article is over in Technology Today. Don't forget to claim your part of the $20 million Apple Watch payout. You may be eligible for part of a large cash settlement, which probably won't amount to much, but Samantha Kelly over at cnet.com put the article together. A settlement applies to purchasers of the original Apple Watch Series 1, 2, 3, which are no longer available for purchase, the company said. While we strongly disagree with the claims made against these early generation Apple Watches, we agreed to settle to avoid further litigation, so they simply bowed out. They do not admit any wrongdoing, and you can get a piece. You have until April 10th to submit a claim to secure your share. It's a website that's Smith et al. V. Apple Incorporated settlement agreement. So how much will you get? Somewhere between $20 and $50, maybe. Really depends on the number of claims that are submitted. It says here you can go to watchsettlement.com to find out more. The next article is over in the mobile channel as well. HP accidentally bricked its own printers. For those of you too young to have grown up with a printer in every home and office, or even have worked in an office, a printer was a device engineered for as a mass social experiment to run over several decades to test how far you could push a frustrated person before they went batshit Looney Tunes over paper jams and Byzantine settings menus. Those settings menus still exist as Byzantine, and paper jams, not so much. But cleaning your freaking printer every couple of days because you don't print continuously, and then you have to do a deep cleaning and all of this other crap to get your printer working, that drives me nuts. I'm actually considering switching to a laser printer because of that. Anyway, printer maker extraordinaire HP just found a way to make printers even more aggravating. Reports have been rolling in that their March 4th firmware update, yes, printers get regular software updates, have been disabling their printers. The article is over at vice.com by Matt Janser. And affected printers, so far it appears to be a limited issue to HP LaserJet MFP M232 to M237 models that install the version 2025-0209 firmware update. And after that, the printer will now throw an error code of 11 and flash the ink toner lights, and the user won't be able to print anything. And there's been a rash of these complaints the past few days on the HP support forum, reporting things that the problem has struck them too. The author says, I could fill up this whole article by spamming links to reports of this happening, but I'll spare us both. So yeah, spare everybody. Anyway, if you're still plodding along with the HP LaserJet MFP 232 to 237, don't update your firmware until HP comes out with the next version, and maybe that will fix it. Let's keep going. The next article is over in WarCrafters. That's another one of the channels over at ohmtown.com where news gets aggregated based on content. A dead MMO that launched with a now canceled TV show in 2013 is coming back 4 years after the servers were shut down. Tryon World's Defiance was an odd duck. It launched in 2013 alongside a TV show tie-in of the same name, set on a future Earth following an alien invasion during which the planet was aggressively terraformed. Both the game and the show were a mix of grungy post-apocalyptic Western and futuristic sci-fi. A neat hook in the form of the interplay between the show and the game piqued their attention, the author's attention, over at PC Gamer back in the day. I'd keep tuning into the show, trying to figure out what events would impact the game. Unfortunately, there was a surprising lack of meaningful crossover. Well, Fraser Brown over at PCGamer.com put the article together. It says, Defiance indeed. So it's come back. Tryon World's Defiance has returned. Only a couple years later, the show was canceled, but the MMO persevered, and it stuck around for a while until 2021 when the servers were shut down. Defiance was never really one of the heavy hitters, and haven't thought about it for years, but now I guess it's back. Fox, Fawkes, an indie studio and publisher dedicated to reviving treasured titles, has dedicated that Defiance fits its brief and has set itself the task of bringing the game back to life. It acquired the rights to both the original 2013 version of the game and the relaunched Defiance 2050 version that appeared in 2018. So apparently it's coming back. They said while they weren't a fan of Defiance, they do miss the days when we had countless MMOs to pick from. It's always a shame when an MMO closes down. I agree. Arcade was absolutely phenomenal to me, but apparently it didn't generate enough revenue to stay alive twice, including Unchained, which didn't even have a monthly fee, but it's gone too. I don't know. I don't know. It drives me nuts. Stop killing games, folks. Give the server to somebody who cares. If you don't, there are enough people that will play it locally or in a smaller amount. I would love to play ArcAge on my own server so that I have control over it, and I can let my friends play it. Anyway, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. You're more likely to die if you have surgery on a Friday. If you have surgery coming up, maybe don't read the article. Don't psych yourself out of medical procedure that could make you healthier. Now, for the rest of you, a study's been found that patients who have surgery just before the weekend have a 5% higher chance of complications or death, it says, than those who have surgery earlier in the week. And the reason will not shock you all. Basically, Louis Prada over at Vice.com put the article together. As you probably guessed, fatigue is the likely culprit, though the study's authors caution that fatigue isn't the only factor at play. The study spans 12 years worth of surgeries and tracked patient outcomes at the 30-day, 90-day, and 1-year post-surgery. Across all time frames, surgeries that happen on Fridays had a higher risk of complication. So they're calling it the weekend effect. It's a known issue that still requires tons more study before anything definitive can be said or done about it, but you don't want to get treated on Friday. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. Countless gallons of whale pee are keeping our oceans alive. You heard it. It's a common joke when you're probably heard before. One of those public domain observations people toss out in conversations to seem clever and original when it's thought thousands of times every day. Swimming in the ocean is weird because it's a fish toilet. But all that sea creature waste plays a vital role in maintaining ocean health. So again, Louis Prada over at Vice.com put the article together. There's always more on these articles, so I always encourage people. I do these shows simply to kind of pique your curiosity and make you go over and read more about it, do some due diligence, come and hang out and talk to Mayor Wada and the ohmTown citizenry over at ohmTown on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/ohmTown, and over on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/ohmTown. Yeah, we stream to both at the same time. Not this episode because it's a time machine episode. I had mayoral duties and I couldn't do the work. And that may be the same case for Thursday's show, but we'll see. So scientists have been enamored with whale waste in recent years. In the past, researchers have found that whale poop is so vital to maintaining the health of our oceans, and some have started developing artificial whale poop based on the nutrients found in the real thing. And I've actually done an episode involving that artificial whale poop. According to the researcher Andrew Pershing from the University of Vermont, whale pee serves a similar purpose, and a whale's migratory patterns play a key role in the distribution of nutrients. It's called the whale conveyor belt and helps spread around 4,000 tons of nitrogen and 45,000 tons of other biomass like dead skin cells, placentas, yes, poop too, across thousands of miles. Whales travel as they journey toward breeding grounds. But all of that basically is nutrient that gets stirred up on the seabed floor. The researchers found that areas of the ocean where whales dump their various types of waste and gunk end up fertilizing ecosystems that fuel phytoplankton growth, leading to bountiful food reserves for all kinds of fish and sea invertebrates. And one researcher explained that while whale pee being distributed through whale migration paths is like collecting leaves to make compost for your garden. Let's keep going. Next article is over in the Mobile channel. How to watch Thursday's total lunar eclipse and blood moon. So that's today if you are listening to this today, but it's tomorrow if you're listening to it when I release it from the time machine on Wednesday. Time, man. How does it work? Anyway, how to watch Thursday's total lunar eclipse and blood moon on March 13th. Earth's shadow will fall across the surface of the moon, giving it a bloody red hue. Bloody red hue. Passant Robbie over at Gizmodo.com put the article together. The deck statement says what I just got done saying. The total lunar eclipse will take place on the night of March 13th and into the early morning of Friday, March 14th, depending on the time zone. The eclipse is set to begin at 11:57 on Thursday and last for about 6 hours as the moon slowly exits from beneath Earth's shadow. Unlike a solar eclipse, you don't need any special equipment because you won't go blind if you look up at the blood moon. It'll be pretty cool. I'm sure that there will be people streaming it as well. The moon will begin to dim as it enters the outer part of Earth's shadow known as the penumbra. According to NASA, a little over an hour later, a partial eclipse will begin to take shape as the moon moves deeper into the umbra. Totality will begin at 2:26 a.m. Eastern and last until 3:31 Eastern. That's when the moon is totally covered by Earth's shadow and will appear coppery red. After totality, the moon will slowly begin to move out of the shadow and return to its regular self at around 6 a.m. Let's keep going. The next article is over at Non Sequitur News. Hey, it's the name of the show. What a deal. So a man sued his old employer who gave him a worse desk and apparently won. A UK real estate agency was sued by an employee who quit after being assigned a worse desk. A tribunal ruled that it was logical for him to perceive the desk as a demotion. The move was likely to destroy or seriously damage the relationship of trust and confidence, it said. The UK real estate agency asked a manager to sit at a lesser seat, which he viewed as a demotion. He sued and won. Not sure how this works out, but Nora Redmond over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. This is in 2023. Worker was asked to relocate to a different branch of a real estate agency, returning him to an office that he'd previously managed. But he learned that he would be sharing the manager role with someone else. Walker was then, or the employee was then told that he would be sitting at a desk in the middle of the office rather than his old one at the back where the books and ledgers were kept and where managers traditionally sat. So the colleague he would share management responsibilities with was now sitting at that desk. After resigning, Walker took the agency to an employment tribunal, which agreed that it was right to view that the seating arrangement was a demotion. And they won. So not sure what they won other than they won. But it says here the tribunal's judgment also said that after receiving the person's complaint, they said that he could not understand why a man of your age, 53 at the time, was complaining about a desk. It said that the other manager swore and that his voice was raised. So the complainant resigned after the meeting. The tribunal found that the complainant's case amounted to constructive dismissal. So they basically motivated him to quit. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over on the Marble Channel. Citizen scientists are hitting the streets of the country's fastest warming cities to collect detailed temperature data. So Uluk Kronbach and from Knowable Magazine put this article together, but it's published over at smithsonianmag.com or Smithsonian Magazine. So the heat mapping of metros like Reno, Nevada could be key to taming urban heat, saving lives, and designing for a cooler future. But we have satellite technology that should be doing this. Reno's heat is not evenly spread. In the summer, neighborhoods near the airport feel oven-like compared to more affluent cottonwood-shaded trees homes near the Truckee River. The sidewalks of pavement-heavy shopping centers and casinos in the city center offer little relief. Those in the green space-rich neighborhoods of South Reno are kinder. The city's main thermometer, located at the airport, doesn't tell you anything about those differences, and neither, it turns out, do temperature mapping satellites. The resolution is far too coarse, according to this, but I can't buy into that. But I'll have to do some digging and do a follow-up regarding this. So by the time that they finished their loop, dusk had set in and their car thermometer had dipped to 83 degrees. But as we headed to the volunteer station, the gauge climbed back up to 89. Such gradients are common in cities and commonly remarked upon, but they're rarely precisely measured and mapped. So Reno, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, El Paso, Texas, Albany, Georgia, and Burlington have the fastest warming cities. Overall, the United States between 1970 and 1923 apparently has a 2.6 degree increase. This is kind of dangerous. So the fastest warming states in general here, apparently, again, United States average is 2.6. But Alaska is 4.3, Delaware is 3.6, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New Mexico are all 3.5 as well. So pretty wild. Campaigns to record temperatures across city neighborhoods and create better heat maps are on the rise. Reno is one of the more than 80 U.S. communities that since 2017 have completed a heat mapping project. So you just drive around with a thermometer and it tracks what's going on. Anywhere that there's more blacktop and buildings and not trees and no air is flowing, you basically end up with a heat sink and it starts radiating that heat. Let's keep going though. We have two more articles, including this one over at Distillerist. That's where it was aggregated to at ohmtown.com, but it actually comes from, I think, Spirits Business. Yeah. So, Diageo-owned Captain Morgan rum has rolled out a chili and lime-flavored expression in the U.S., sweet and spicy rum, Captain Morgan's. Launched ahead of summer, Captain Morgan's Sweet Chili Lime is bottled at 35% ABV and meant to be served as a chilled shot or mixed into cocktails. With flavor trends heating up, we wanted to create something that defies the rules of the traditional rum, Captain Morgan Vice President and Nosco said. Captain Morgan Sweet Chili Lime gives fans exactly what they're craving, the perfect balance of sweet and spicy and bold flavor experience with every sip. The article is by Ted Simmons over at the Spirits Business. And again, they say Diageo-owned Captain Morgan rum has rolled out a Chilean lime-flavored expression in the U.S. When Captain Morgan asked who was it? Sorry for the dead air. I don't normally just go brain dead like this, but Cower, who currently stars in HBO Max's series The Sex Lives of College Girls, added, "It was a lot of fun riffing and improvising with Devin, along with shooting ideas with the full cast and crew." They basically teamed up with Canadian actress, writer, and producer Amrit Kaur and or Kaur, Kaur, and American comedian and writer Devin Walker, based around the product's mouth-blowing flavors. Mouth-blowing. I don't know what that means. Anyway, $16 for a 750 milliliter bottle. It's also available in 50 milliliter, 375, 1 liter, and 1.75 liter. Huge. Okay, and our last article is about Hawaii. Hawaii volcano again puts tall lava fountains on display in latest eruption episode. So on and off, volcanoes in Hawaii are making themselves known. The article is over at phys.org. And it says fountains reached heights of 400 feet to 500 feet in the early morning hours, according to the U.S. Geological Survey Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. This marks the 13th episode of on-again, off-again lava activity of Kilauea volcano on the Big Island that started December 23rd. The latest episode didn't last long. Fountaining stopped abruptly in the afternoon, scientists said, but a webcam showed vigorous fountains of bright red molten rock and billowing smoke. Tuesday, hours later, only smoke could be seen. So you can actually watch that over on YouTube. USGS actually has a stream. It may or may not persist in the coming months, weeks, maybe 4 years. We'll see. But we are going to ride one of those eruptions, lava fountains, and land back at the front page of ohmtown.com, where you can go and become a citizen. But I ripped through these 10 articles in less than 30 minutes. So I hope that you enjoyed the quick show, and we will reset and hopefully be able to do not the time machine, but a regular episode on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Be sure to follow us. See you soon. Bye-bye.